Hey Blackhawks, it's Miss Pena
and Ms. Morales
from the counseling department. And so we're here to give you your junior year presentation. Welcome class of 2023. So today what we're going to do is we're going to start off with joining the LQHS class of 2023 Google Classroom. So we have our class code listed, but before we do, please bring out your Chromebooks. And we're going to have you go onto your Google Classroom. Even if you're already in the Google Classroom, feel free to jump on because we're actually going to have a post up there for you to do the next activity. So we're going to give you a minute to get your Chromebooks out, add your class code up to SQCGUI, and then we'll go from there. 1 minute. All right, perfect. So at this time, we should have our Chromebooks out. We should have our Google Classroom code in. And again, it's 2SQCGUI. Perfect. So we're going to move on to the next activity. We're going to complete your counselor survey, and it's going to be posted on your Google Classroom. It'll be under that announcements section, and you'll be able to go on there and start a survey. Don't be scared of having either the right or the wrong answer. We just want to know what you already know before today's junior year presentation. So you'll have 3 minutes to complete the survey, and then we'll continue on. Awesome. So by now we should have completed our counselor survey, but if we need more time, teachers feel free to give it a pause and then start when we're ready. So moving forward, today's agenda. All right, so it's your junior class presentation. Today, what we're going to talk about is talking about who your LQHS counselors or school counselors are. Definitely remembering who is your go-to when talking about your classes, any resources you need here on campus or throughout the community. Having a conversation, a recap of our graduation requirements, our A through G college ready requirements, options for after high school, our post high school options, testing, NCAA eligibility for anyone who's interested in playing a sport at a college level. And then we'll have you complete your junior post survey, meaning going back and highlighting all the things that you learned today. And then for fun, to kind of explore and continue it on, we'll have a scavenger hunt to win a prize.
All right, Blackhawks. So I know you guys haven't been on campus for many of you in a while. So we wanted to make sure for new students and those of you who haven't been around in a while, that you got a chance to see our faces. We have had some changes and some new faces here to the counseling department. So for those of you new, the counselors, we are located in the main administration building. So that's where you can find us. We are divided and assigned to you all by your last name. So you're going to find your last name and which counselor matches up with that to determine who your go-to counselor is. So please come by, say hi, make sure you're having conversations with us throughout the school year. We want to get to know you. We want to support you. But this is who we are, and this is also located on the main website if you're looking for an email address or to figure out who your counselor is as well. So one of our main roles here is to make sure that you guys are satisfying the requirements of Desert Sands Unified School District and the high school diploma requirements. So just as a refresher, y'all need 220 credits to graduate from high school. And it can't just be 220 credits in electives. It really needs to be broken down into the different subject matters. So remember, you need 4 years of English. You need 3 years of math. We have to have a biology class. We have to have a physical science class. You need world history, US history, government, economics, 2 years of physical education. That's right, guys, 2 years of PE, 1 year of a world language or a visual performing art. And then finally, you need 70 elective credits. And so make sure you can check where you stand on Student View by clicking on your course history and seeing how much you've completed. It's also available to you on your transcript. You can ask us too. So if you have any questions, if there's been a class in your past that you did not pass, you want to make sure that you've had a plan of how you can repeat that course, or if you need to repeat that course, and talk about that with us so we can help support you get that diploma at the end of next year. Now, we don't just want you to graduate. We also want to support you in having options when it comes to senior year. So for many of you, we want to make sure that many of you are going to want to go to a 4-year college straight out of high school, and we want you to be able to meet the requirements to be able to do so. And so what that means is that you need to meet your A through G college requirements. The California State Universities and the University of California refer to the different subject areas and courses you need to complete in high school by subject. So each subject is given a letter, hence A through G. Okay, so you'll see them outlined here. And you're also going to notice that they align very closely with our graduation requirements. So there's a few slight differences. One of the biggest that you'll notice is that they require 3 years of math, which we do too for the diploma, but they recommend 4 years. So guys, senior year, if you're wanting to go to a 4-year institution, we definitely need to take that 4th year math. The other big difference is going to be with the world languages and your visual performing art. So to graduate, you need 1 year of one or the other. To satisfy your A through G requirements, you need 2 years of the same world language and 1 year of a visual performing arts. So that is going to be a major difference there. If you have any questions, if a class satisfies the A through G requirements, again, let us know, ask us, and we'll help you out.
Definitely. I feel like these are like the really well-rounded requirements because we're touching on art and we're touching on world language. The goal is to meet both requirements all the way to your senior year so that we have as many options as possible.
Yeah, and I think I kept saying 4-year college, but if you're interested in going on to community college, like I want to highlight that these A through G requirements, we refer to them as college and career ready because we really feel that completing these requirements are what's going to best prepare you in the workforce to go to community college or to transfer to that 4-year college as well.
Definitely, for anything you choose to do next. And just a highlight, come senior year, by completing these requirements as well, you get the joy of wearing the A through G college ready cords at graduation to kind of spruce up your outfit for the day and highlight everything that you're accomplishing. Awesome.
Thanks, Ms. Pena.
Thank you.
So you guys, the A through G requirements, those are the courses that you need to complete. But something else that is really, really important is going to be how you do in those courses. So colleges and universities are definitely going to be looking at your grade point average. And what we've highlighted here is how they do that. So the Cal States and UCs, they calculate your GPA for admissions based on your grades from last year and this year. So these are your key years in really kind of setting yourself up to have a multitude of opportunities. The Cal States do require now a 2.5 GPA or higher, and then the UC minimum is a 3.0. So that's a B average across the board. And you can also find your grade point average and know where you stand as of right now in Student View. When you look under course history, you'll see your state GPA off there to the right. So when you get a chance, you'll want to look at that and kind of see where you are. And that way it'll help drive what your goals are for this school year. In addition, your GPA is not just used for college admissions, it's also used for financial aid. So whether you're going to a 2-year college like College of the Desert, or you plan to go to a 4-year institution, your ability to access the most amount of free money is going to be based on your parents' income and your GPA. So a 3.0 unweighted GPA is really going to provide the most amount of access to that free money. And who doesn't want that? So set your goals and make sure you're paying attention to what your GPA looks like. And then the 2.0 GPA is going to be that the very minimum to unlock some of that free money, federal money from the federal government for college.
Awesome, perfect. And I know that Cal Grant GPA is on the Student View and that it could be used when filing for financial aid for military, community college, vocational, and 4-year. Perfect. So as we continue on, we also want to highlight ACT, the ASVAB, and SAT. So we're in our junior year right now. And so we have a great opportunity not only to show our skills through our grades, but also to show our skills through these wonderful tests. Specifically with ACT and SAT, they give you the option to show your math skills, your reading, your writing skills. ACT highlights your science skills, and both can, if you do the writing portion, show you how you write and those wonderful skills as well. Depending on where you're deciding to go after high school, I would definitely say try both. Do that essay portion if possible, just to show every skill that you have. And if you do really well on them, take it again and kind of get a stronger score just to show how you progress. This will definitely help you in just seeing where you're at right now in your skill set, but also showing it to others when you're applying for your next steps. Now with ASVAB, if you are interested in the military or just in general want to see what is a really good career path for you, the ASVAB is a wonderful opportunity for you to see what you do really well in different careers that you would do great. Yes, you can hold on to that score and enlist with the military and specifically those skills, but you can also take the test without enlisting and just highlighting what would be your good next steps, whether confirming that you're awesome at something or just also seeing something new that you're great at. Now, we do want to highlight that the ASVAB will be a sign-up basis. We'll be letting you know more information about it soon, but we will have the ASVAB on November 30th of this year. So you'll be able to sign up. So just hear out for information on our bulletin or announcements about signing up for the ASVAB. In regards to the SAT, juniors will have the opportunity on March 2nd of 2022 to be able to take the SAT during the school day as well. So 2 great opportunities for you to be able to kind of see your skills and kind of take the next steps with that information too. Perfect. Now,
Ms. Pena, can I make a comment about the SAT?
yes.
Okay, so there's been a lot of conversations about taking the SAT. Do colleges require the SAT? And I just had that conversation earlier today. And so you guys, what you want to know is that it varies by campus. You really need to look at where you want to go. And if you don't want to narrow down your opportunities, I say take the exam. It's not going to hurt to have the scores. There's still scholarships out there that are requiring the SAT. And if you're an athlete, NCAA wants you to submit that SAT score as well. So if you don't know, err on the side of caution. Make sure you're there that day. It's a great experience. It's a great way to make sure that you haven't closed any doors as far as institutions that you can apply to next year.
Definitely. And I know that the PSAT will be offered in the fall for juniors. However, that one will have a fee, and we'll let you know about more information on that. But the SAT in the spring, the actual SAT will let you have the opportunity to take it for free. And so that's definitely saving some money in your bank as well. So that's also a really good opportunity.
That's fantastic.
Definitely. And then in regards to what happens next, post-secondary options, just to kind of think over it, we have our 3 E's. If ever you're just kind of thinking about it, we have enrollment, continuing your education after high school, enlistment, if you're thinking about joining the military of either branch, employment, getting a job after high school. And I think there's this part where some people think you have to select one pathway. You can select all of them. Be very crafty, whatever it is that you're interested in doing. I would definitely kind of look into each and every one. If you're interested in enlistment, you can go to college and continue on through the ROTC program, or other way around, join and get your free education. There's a lot of varieties. The biggest thing is let's have a plan for what's happening after high school. Enrollment, enlistment, employment, and let your school counselor know, and those, your support team, know as well. So we're all on the same page of what we're going to do next, and so that we know that we can give you the right resources. Now, so one of our options is enrollment, remember? So one of the options within that is California community colleges. For us, our local one is College of the Desert. And just highlighting, there's multiple community colleges here in California. We have 116. Just as an example, you'll see cost of attendance for College of the Desert. It's $46 per unit. And usually you want to have at least 12 to be a full-time student. There is a fee for health, but it's also a great price to pay to have that support handy. In regards to the best place to go, if you already know what you want to do right after graduating from College of the Desert, you can look at assist.org, what classes you would have to take at COD before transferring on, or any community college, and where you decide to go next. So just highlighting what the average cost is. But I think a big part in knowing that, yes, it has a cost. There's also a program called our Pledge program that gives you the opportunity when filling out the forms, showing that you're taking the proper steps from financial aid, signing up your senior year, making sure that you connect with them with picking your classes. That gives you an opportunity to have your tuition paid for from College of the Desert. So if there's any thoughts about how am I going to pay for it, just know that you stay connected with us as your school counselors. We stay on top of any deadline that we need to get done come your senior year with COD. We can have that education paid for. So that's awesome. And then another plan is also California State University System. So our nearest CSU is San Bernardino. We actually have a branch here in Palm Desert, as well as in San Bernardino, local to us. There's 23 wonderful campuses for the CSU system, you do have to complete the A through G requirements to be able to apply and complete the application. The dates listed here are the average dates on an annual year from October to November and where to apply. But we won't apply until our senior year, but it's always nice to go on their website to check out some of those campuses, maybe book some maybe road trips along the way just to check them out and definitely see what each one is wonderful for, from what you want to learn from there or from the location. Definitely junior year is a really great time to start exploring, talking to your counselors, and again, your support system to figure out what would be your best next step.
Thanks, Ms. Pena. Yeah, I think a really great resource for juniors is our college and career website. You can take a virtual tour of all of the Cal States, all of the University of California schools, and we have several privates listed on there as well. So you can get a virtual feel of the campus, what kind of the culture of the campus is, and start to look into, do they offer the major that you're interested in, if you know what that is. So I think that's a really good investment of your time in junior year. So make sure you guys get to know that website well. There's also, we will be listing when college presenters are here. So we get a great number of admissions officers that come to our campus and will present to students. And we'll have both in-person and virtual options this year. And we'll post those dates on the college career website. It's a great chance, you guys. These are the people that are making admissions decisions. So having them meet who you are, see your face, and really understand that you are pursuing their campus and interested in a major that they offer, that's huge. So make sure you're setting aside some time to do that. So I just wanted to plug that in. So Ms. Pena talked to you guys about two of the educational options that you have once you graduate from here. One being the community colleges, right? If you have a diploma, you can apply. They openly accept all students. The other was the Cal State system. And the Cal State system really was designed for like the top third of your graduating class. So, you have to have that 2.5 GPA or higher. And now we're going to talk about some other institutions. We're kind of climbing up that ladder. Ms. Pena, can you go back to the University of California slide?
Yes.
There we go. All right. So Cal State's, and then our other institution here in California is going to be the University of California system. So we've got 9 undergraduate campuses here. The UC's, different atmosphere than the Cal States, a lot of research-based institutions here. If you're somebody that likes that, some pretty big freshman classes, some great campuses. But the UCs are really designed to accept like the top 10% of the graduating class. That's why their admission requirements are a 3.0 GPA or higher, and that's just the minimum. So you guys really need to look into each campus and see what the average student that's being accepted, what their profile looks like. Some campuses like UCLA, the average student may have a 3.9 GPA or higher. So we want you to be aware of that student profile that they're looking for and make sure for your plan that you are setting aside some dream schools or reach schools. You have a couple good fits campuses on there, and then also planning to apply to some safety schools. Maybe that's going to be College of the Desert for you. So the University of California is just going to be another option. And one of the things we like to point out is they do have something called the eligibility in the local context, the ELC. So at the end of this school year, we will receive a letter and notify us of who the top 9% of our graduating class is. And those students will automatically be accepted to one UC campus during their senior year, as long as they apply to a UC. That's pretty amazing. What do you think, Ms. Pena?
I do. I think if ever you're working hard for that part, sometimes people get nervous. Will I get accepted or will I not? This is a really nice way. This is where you put in a lot of the work. So you have that opportunity and hopefully a lot less stress come your senior year.
Yeah, so I'll give an example of that. So maybe I'm a student, I applied to UC Davis, and I also applied to UC Berkeley. Now, I apply to those campuses and I don't get accepted. Those are my top 2 UC choices. But because I'm in the top 9% of my class and I signed the consent with the ELC, when it comes time, the UCs will notify me that I could be accepted to an alternate campus. And that tends to be UC Riverside, but not always. So, it just be UC Riverside because that is our local area school. But if I get accepted to UC Riverside, then I could still go to a UC. And I think that's amazing.
Awesome.
Another type of institution is going to be the private universities and the private independent colleges. So we have so many around us and great schools that you guys can choose from. Some of these private universities are open, non-denominational. Others are going to be religiously affiliated. So you'll need to do your research and find out which one is going to be the right fit for you. Privates have different application windows. So you also need to make sure you're looking at when do they start accepting applications. That typically opens up in September or the fall of your senior year and will stay open a little bit longer than the Cal States and the UC window. And most private universities are going to use something called the Common Application. So you can fill out that Common App, and then you just want to make sure you're checking your emails and finding out other specifics that they're looking for. So Western Undergraduate Exchange. How does Ms. Peterson say it?
WUE.
WUE, right? It's W-U-E, okay? Western Undergraduate Exchange is an agreement that several colleges in the Western United States have made with students, with California. And they said, hey, we want to offer students a great opportunity to go to an out-of-state school at an affordable price. So you'll see some great universities up here like Northern Arizona, which is really not that far. Instead of having to pay these huge out-of-state student prices, you can apply and visit the WUE website, fill out their application, and you can actually get admitted to these campuses at a reduced rate. So if you're looking to expand beyond the borders of California, which we really encourage you to do, check out WUE.
And so then going on to other options like vocational studies, if there's something that you already know that you really want to do, whether it's join with culinary, automotive, fashion design, and so on and so forth, this might be a really great option for you. A lot of vocational programs will have you the opportunity where they're open admission or rolling admission, meaning you can jump in at different times as soon as you get your high school diploma. But definitely each one will vary. So you definitely want to check in to all the programs that you're interested in before we graduate, just so we have that game plan. There's long-term, there's short-term goals as far as what kind of training you'll get. I know that there are people who will go in for one certificate and one certificate, have that profession and use that profession while they continue on their education as well. So there's short-term, long-term opportunities. I would definitely advise that you check out these wonderful websites just to see what kind of programs are in our area. I know there's a lot here in the Valley, so that's definitely great to pick from and to look at. And so one thing that I would also highlight, there's also apprenticeships. There's different opportunities. I have a friend who went in as an apprentice in Alaska for welding. So that's a really great opportunity. They were able to work with professionals within welding, get paid, get cost of living paid for by going to Alaska, taking that opportunity, learning from those professionals. So I would definitely check out this website to see what might be a great opportunity for you and whatever it is that you are passionate in. And definitely, again, let your counselor know so we can help guide you through that process as well. Now, in regards to if we're interested in the military, great opportunity. We have multiple branches. I would definitely utilize our Career Center here. You have the opportunity to meet with recruiters from each military branch. My biggest advice would be make sure that you talk to all of them and select which would be the best for you. You always want to know a little bit of all of them. It offers you a great way, career training, opportunity to get funding for your education and to have it paid for. Again, there are ROTC programs within colleges as well that can actually have you training in college to then go into a military branch, or the other way around. And like I said, recruiters are always available. Definitely make some time to meet with them and see what would be the best for you. if this is something that you're interested in. And then again, if we are strongly interested in the military, open to all, but if we're thinking about the military, make sure you sign up for the ASVAB. It'll be available, or it'll be held on November 30th of this year. Now, so we just went through a lot of information. We want to make sure that we don't lose it all. And we want to give you an opportunity to talk to your elbow partner. So someone who is around you, we're going to take 2 minutes. Each one of you will have a minute to have a conversation about what is one theme you have learned so far. So I'm going to start the timer, 1 minute for one of your partners, and then we'll switch off for 1 minute for the next. And so we can start now. If you haven't done so already, make sure your partner is getting their minute as well. When it comes down to what we have to offer. I know within our community, we have a lot of people are here who are ready to support. One thing that we want to highlight is starting to build your senior profile now. Yes, it is your junior year. However, there are different parts and portions to the senior profile that you can already get started, whether asking for letters of recommendation, whether working on your relationships with those mentors that you already have, so that when you do have to ask for those letters of recommendation, building your resume and so forth. So you can go on our website now and see what the senior profile looks like under the counseling section. It'll be LQHS, counseling tab, and senior profile to see what resources we have to start your senior profile. We also want to highlight that our website does have opportunities from summer enrichment opportunities if you're looking for some internship, some programs, volunteer work that you might want to jump in to help strengthen your resume and just in general get to know different parts of our community and our school. And then when it comes to requesting letters of rec, if you go onto our website, you'll see ways on how to ask for it, what you can share with your recommenders. This is a really good opportunity to prepare for scholarships. And then also highlighting that we have a scholarship website that you can already apply to. There's
a lot of scholarships on there.
Yeah, you don't have to wait till your senior year to apply. You can definitely do so now. But this is a really great opportunity to start building that senior profile. And I think once you start working on it, it doesn't look so daunting. And using that information now to already start applying for scholarships on our site as well. Another thing that I would highlight is we do have scholarship or the Quest Bridge scholarship opportunity. juniors should apply, especially if we have our top 5 and 10%. Yes, if funding is definitely needed, that'll help so they can see how they can best support you. And if we're looking for a full ride scholarship to institution, I think, again, you don't have to wait till your senior year to apply for scholarships, but Questbridge in particular, I would say definitely apply. It'll come in the spring, but you can already go on Questbridge as of now and start looking at what's required. 2 letters of recommendation, having that resume ready, having your unofficial transcript so you can use to add that information. There are some really great opportunities for you to select schools, select scholarships, so that senior year is not as stressful, and that you feel comfortable and confident going into your senior year. So definitely, if you're curious about learning more about Questbridge or scholarships, reach out to us and we'll have that conversation to make sure that it best supports you.
Ms. Pena, who do you recommend they ask for letters of recommendation?
I would probably say a teacher, a coach, someone who knows you very well, a counselor, someone that's seeing your progress throughout your education. Maybe if you are interested in the medical field, maybe a science teacher. If you're interested in art, having your art teacher be a part of it, someone who really knows you well-rounded.
And maybe even a club advisor if you're active in a club on campus. I think that's great.
Yeah, or a coordinator of one of your programs or a boss that you work with. So someone who knows you well and knows what you're trying to pursue. Definitely.
Those are great ideas.
Thank you.
All right, so I am reaching out to all of those student athletes out there, and we want to make sure that anyone who wants to continue to play athletics at the college level is letting their counselor know. So it's great if you're talking to your coach, it's great if you're talking to your friends and your parents, but if we don't know, then we can't make sure that you're meeting all of the requirements. So NCAA is very specific on what academic courses you need to take in order to meet their standards. So make sure you're letting your counselor know. This is a great little outline. It kind of sets it up in a 4x4 because you need 16 core classes within the subjects of English, math, social science, or foreign language. So make a plan, let us know, and definitely make sure you're watching that grade point average. So a great quote that the NCAA refers to is 2.3 or take a knee. Meaning if you don't have a 2.3 GPA or higher, you're sitting the bench or you're sitting out the season. So grades really do matter, and we want to support you, but you need to make sure that we really closely look at what classes you're taking. Okay, so we've covered a lot of information and we've done some think, pair, shares. We talked to Elbow Partner and talked a little bit about what you learned. We would like to see what you've benefited from and what you've gained from this presentation. So please go back into your Google Classrooms in the class of 2023. Look under announcements and we want you to open the junior post survey. Okay, so Google Classroom for the class of 2023. Find your junior post survey in the announcements feed. Go ahead and open that up and we're going to give you a few minutes to get that completed. you guys. So hopefully you've had enough time, teachers. If your students need a few more minutes, if you want to go ahead and hit the pause button right here, you can. Juniors. So what we want to do next is give you a chance to explore our website, find out where all the resources are, find out some information that's going to be beneficial for you over the next school year. So we have a scavenger hunt. You're going to find that scavenger hunt at the bit.ly on the screen. Go ahead and use the time that you have left to find as many of the things as you can on the website. So we will get those answers. We're going to go through them. And those of you that are submitting and finding everything, you guys are going to be entered in a raffle for some prizes. So take your time and really look at it as an exercise to figure out where you can find information that's going to be relevant for you throughout this school year. We get questions all the time and we're like, man, that's on our college and career website, you guys, check that out. So we put that out there because we really want you to benefit from it.
Definitely. I would say, look at the clues. They'll guide you through the website. Click it all. Click it all. Good luck on getting that prize.
So take your time, go through the scavenger hunt, and that's going to be our final exercise, and that's going to conclude your junior guidance lesson. We will be doing junior meetings, individual meetings in the spring with you guys. Make sure we're going over some of this stuff again, just touching upon it and making sure you feel prepared to go into senior year. So reach out to us if you have any questions. We're over here in the admin building.
Perfect. Thank you. And feel free to go back to the next slide or the last slide for the survey. Good luck.